For weeks, I had felt an unusual distance growing between us. Little things. Her laughter not quite reaching her eyes. The way her phone seemed to occupy her attention more than our conversations. The subtle way she avoided certain topics. All of it had planted a small seed of worry in my mind. I tried to dismiss it at first, convincing myself I was overthinking, that maybe I was just imagining shadows where there were none. But that night, the seed grew into a forest of dread. Her message arrived just as I was finishing dinner, the screen lighting up with a simplicity that made my heart tighten. "I'll be staying at Jason's tonight. Don't wait up." I stared at the words for what felt like minutes, my stomach dropping, my thoughts tumbling over themselves. Jason, the name alone carried a familiarity that stung. I knew him only casually. Someone she had spoken about before, a laugh that didn't reach her eyes even then. Why tonight? Why now? The questions multiplied, each one heavier than the last. I took a deep breath, trying to steady myself. My fingers hovered over the keyboard as I considered my response. I could have erupted, demanded an explanation, sent something fiery that she couldn't ignore. But instead, I chose calm. I replied, simply, "All right, sleep well." The simplicity of my words concealed the storm inside me, a storm fueled by fear, betrayal, and the faintest hope that maybe I was overreacting. The minutes stretched into hours. Every ping, every vibration of my phone made my chest tighten. My mind replayed past conversations, small signs I had ignored, moments I had brushed off as trivial. Had I missed something crucial? Was there a pattern I had refused to see? By midnight, my worry had solidified into a gnawing certainty. I couldn't ignore it any longer. I left my apartment, deciding to drive past her neighborhood, not to confront, not to accuse, just to see, just to know. The streetlights painted long shadows across the pavement, and my car moved with a quiet urgency, the kind that only comes from fear wrapped tightly in love. When I reached her building, I saw a light on in Jason's apartment. She was there. It was undeniable, and yet a part of me refused to believe it fully. My hands gripped the steering wheel, so tightly my knuckles turned white. I felt like a spectator trapped in someone else's story, a character without agency, watching a plot twist unfold I had never auditioned for. The night stretched on, and my mind raced through possibilities. Had she anticipated my reaction? Was this part of a larger deception I had yet to understand? I thought back to the mornings we had spent together, the small intimacies that had once felt sacred. Each memory now seemed fragile, threatened by a shadow I could neither touch nor fully comprehend. And yet, I held on to hope that this was a misstep, a lonely choice she would regret in the morning. By 3 a.m, I returned home, my body exhausted but my mind relentlessly alert. I didn't sleep. I sat on the edge of the bed, staring at the ceiling, listening for the faintest hint of her presence, imagining the conversation I would demand the moment she returned. And when she finally walked in, the cool night air brushing against her cheeks, I was ready, not with anger, not with accusations, but with a quiet, unyielding clarity. She noticed immediately. The way I looked at her, the calmness that betrayed no hysteria, made her falter. She began, but I held up a hand, stopping her before the words had spilled. I didn't need explanations, confessions, or apologies. I simply said, "We need to talk. Tomorrow." My voice was steady, the calm in my tone a reflection of a decision I had made long before she walked through the door. It was not about punishment, not about drama. It was about truth. It was about acknowledging the fracture between us that no words, no gestures could fully mend. She tried to reach for my hand, but I stepped back gently. I didn't want confrontation. I wanted clarity. And in that space, I realized something essential. Love, even in its most fervent form, cannot survive deception. Trust, once broken, cannot be quietly stitched back together. And sometimes walking away, letting go with dignity, is the truest expression of care. Care for oneself, even when it hurts to leave someone behind. By morning, she had left. The apartment was silent, except for the soft hum of the city waking up outside. I poured myself a cup of coffee, letting the warmth seep into my hands, letting the quiet remind me that I still had control over my choices. I had not yelled, I had not pleaded, I had not begged, and in that restraint, in that refusal to be a passive participant in someone else's choices, I found a small measure of peace, a recognition that my love, though betrayed, had not diminished my worth, that my heart, though bruised, was capable of standing firm. The days stretched ahead, filled with uncertainty and the remnants of betrayal. And yet, in that uncertainty, there was freedom. Freedom from doubt, from manipulation, from the illusion that love could survive where honesty did not. I didn't know what the future held. I didn't know if she would return, or if the trust we once shared could ever be reclaimed. But I did know one thing. I had responded not with desperation, but with clarity, not with anger, but with dignity. And in that, I had reclaimed something far more valuable than reconciliation. I had reclaimed myself.